Okay, today's the first lesson on the cardiovascular system. We're kind of got ahead of the game here, so I'm going to get you guys caught up if you're watching online. Cardiovascular is in reference to two different structures in your circulatory system. Your heart is the cardio, and the vascular refers to your blood vessels. As I just said, another name for your cardiovascular system is the circulatory system. They're the same thing. You have three different types of blood vessels. You have arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries carry blood away from the heart, and they traditionally carry oxygenated blood. Veins carry blood towards the heart, and they carry deoxygenated blood. And capillaries are microscopic blood vessels that transition arteries to veins, and this is where oxygen is actually delivered to all the tissues and cells throughout your entire body. And all blood vessels, veins, arteries, and capillaries are composed of smooth muscle. So now we're going to get into the heart. Your heart is made of cardiac muscle. It is the only structure in your entire heart that is made, the only structure in your entire body that has cardiac muscle. That's it. That's the only place, your heart. Your heart has 4 chambers. On every test that I have given as a teacher or taken as a student, there's a question that says, which of the following is the proper flow of blood through the heart? And it has all 4 chambers completely scrambled, and you got to find the one that is in the right order. And so the order is like this. You begin with your right atrium. The right atrium leads to the right ventricle. The right ventricle leads to your lungs. Now, your lungs considered a chamber of your heart? No, but this is like the halfway point. After your lungs, blood will go to your left atrium, and then it will conclude at your left ventricle. Now, there's something I left out on this diagram. I want you to go back to the right atrium after you've gotten all 4 of these. Where is blood at before the right atrium? Where is it coming from? Where is the blood coming from when it is entering your heart at the right atrium?
Veins.
Your body. It's okay. You guys haven't ever seen this before in your lives, so it's going to be a little jumpy. But I don't want you just to yell out whatever word comes to photosynthesis. Don't just shout out words. That's not how you do it. After blood has gotten oxygen, and the last stop in your heart is your left ventricle, where does blood go after your left ventricle? It goes back to the body. Okay. Now, I want you to get out, if you, whatever highlighter color you have, hopefully you have a blue. If you don't, just improvise. These are going to be the deoxygenated circuit. This blood is coming from your body. Now, you have to think. You can't just be mindless robots that are copying down what I write and repeating what I say. Why is blood returning to the heart from the body? It needs oxygen, pure and simple. I'm going to the Publix because I need food. The blood returns to the heart because it needs oxygen. So it is going to go through the right side of your heart. Your right side of your heart is where the deoxygenated half of circulation goes. It will then go to your lungs. What is going to be obtained in the lungs? Oxygen. That's easy. So here you're going to get oxygen, O2. And then we have the oxygenated route or circuit. This is going to be the left side of your heart. So the right side of your heart is the deoxygenated side. The right side of your heart is the oxygenated side. So let's see if you got this. In the left side of your heart, where is blood coming from? Body. Where is blood going to? Your heart. Blood is already in the heart. Yes. On the right side of your heart, where is blood coming from? Like where, when it enters the heart, where is all that blood coming from? Like when I ask you guys, when you come to my class, where are you coming from? 7th period. After my class, where are you going? Home. Well, when it comes to the heart, where is blood coming from on the right side? The body. Where is blood going to on the right side? The lungs. Very good. That's half of it. Now, let's go over to the left side of your heart. Where is blood coming from when it enters the left side of your heart? The lungs. Where is it coming from when it leaves the left side? Or excuse me, where is it going to when it leaves the left side of your heart? The body. And the whole thing just repeats itself. It is a cycle. Your blood goes one direction. You don't want it going backwards. That's bad. And there are valves that are throughout the body, or excuse me, the heart. But we're going to get to those valves on your diagram. So if you guys can please switch on over to the handout that I gave you with the diagram of the heart. What you're looking at is a frontal, you're looking at a frontal cross-section of the heart. Okay. You also have a list of terms. I want you to put a check mark next to each term as we eliminate it from our list. We're going to start on the left side of the heart, and according to your instructions, you're going to need a blue pen, and you will need one highlighter for this, just one, preferably a blue colored highlighter if you have like a sky blue. If you don't, then improvise.
Does anybody have an extra blue pen?
You're supposed to get this back in August. Doesn't matter, you got a syllabus. Okay, here we go. You ready? Blood enters the heart through here and here. This blood vessel is a giant vein on the bottom of your heart where blood enters from your body. This blood vessel is called your inferior vena cava. When you were in the first unit of this class, what does inferior mean? Does it mean above or below? Below. Like if you told someone that they are your inferior, then that means that you are above them. They are below you. This blood vessel receives blood from your lower body. It receives blood from your abdomen, Nikita. It receives blood from your legs, your hips, your digestive system, your urinary system, your reproductive system, bones, muscles, everything that is below your chest. This blood vessel up here is the opposite of your inferior vena cava. This is the superior vena cava. Deoxygenated blood from your arms, your head, your neck, your shoulders, and your chest enters your heart through this vein. These are two of the larger veins of your entire body. They're pretty wide, comparatively speaking. Now, both of these, the top and the bottom, they will go through the vein and they will empty into this chamber. This first one, this is called your right atrium. This is the first stop for blood when it has returned to your heart from your body. They both empty onto the right atrium. Now, unfortunately, those of you watching at home cannot see what I'm about to do, but what I have here is a big model of like an elephant-sized heart. An elephant is a mammal, you're a mammal, it's pretty darn close. I want you guys to look at me. This is the inferior vena cava right here. Blood goes up there. You see my finger? It enters that chamber. This is the superior vena cava. If I can stick my finger all the way through, it would come out into the atrium. They both empty into the right atrium. Now, maybe one or two of you are thinking, wait, that's my left side. Why are we calling it the right atrium? You're right, that's your left. But when you're looking in a mirror, left is right and right is left. You got to look at it from this. This is my right atrium. This is my right arm. This is my right side. This is my left side. Okay? So, blood is going to travel past this valve, which we'll go back to, and it is going to enter your second chamber. It's going to enter your right ventricle. What follows the right atrium? Right. It's right, right, left, left. Not right, left, or left, right. That's wrong. Despite me warning you, I hope none of you make that mistake when you take your test in 3 weeks. You actually have a quiz on all of this next Thursday. By Thursday, you need to know the entire flow of blood throughout the entire heart and all the structures that we're going over now. You have 1 week. Now, get out your highlighter. If you have a blue one, that would be best. If you don't, improvise. This is your first valve. This valve prevents blood from going backwards. That's bad. Some people are born with faulty heart valves or deformed heart valves, and blood can go in the opposite direction. That's not good. This first valve, which prevents backflow, is called your tricuspid valve. Because it is called your tricuspid valve, guess how many parts there are to it? There are 3 parts to it. No mystery there. Be sure you're checking things off as you go. Okay? Now, your ventricles have a very powerful contraction, very powerful pump. And the blood is going to get pumped through the ventricle, and it's going to go up here. And as you may see, there is another valve that we need to highlight right there. Try to find a place to write its name. You might have to get a little creative. This second valve is called the pulmonary valve. You may also call it the semilunar valve. If on next Thursday's quiz, if Caitlin calls it the semilunar valve, she is correct. If Gwen calls it the pulmonary valve, she is correct. If Emma calls it the pulmonary semilunar valve, she is correct. There's more than one name for the same thing. I don't want you to think that semilunar and pulmonary are different. They're just 2 names that are synonymous. We are now at the pulmonary trunk. It is at this junction that blood is going to go in 2 directions, left and right. And as you can hopefully see on this diagram, blood is going to exit the heart. Where is this deoxygenated blood going? It's leaving the heart. Where's it going? Yeah. What organs? I know you guys are not full-fledged, like you know all 11 systems so far, but I would hope that you know that on each side of your heart, there's a lung there. Do you know what lung your heart kind of tucks underneath? Your left lung or your right lung? Think about it. Your left. When you do your Pledge of Allegiance, you put your hand right here because your heart kind of pokes into your left lung. Your right lung has 3 lobes. Your left lung has 2 because your heart tucks in underneath your left lung. You have 2 lungs, one on each side of your heart. And that's where these arteries are going. Now, here's the thing I told you earlier. There is one type of artery in your entire body that is an exception to the rule. The majority of arteries carry oxygenated blood. These arteries are carrying deoxygenated blood. These are your left and right pulmonary arteries. This is going to be your left pulmonary artery. And over here, this is going to be your right pulmonary artery. And tell me one more time, where are these pulmonary arteries sending this deoxygenated blood? To your lungs. So over here, we're going to say this is your left lung. And over here, we're going to say this is your right lung. And what is this blood going to do while in your lungs? It's going to get trillions with a T, trillions of molecules of oxygen with every breath. Lots of it. Okay. So that is half of your heart or cardiac circulation. Let's transition to red now. You don't need your blue pen anymore. Now it's time for red. When I'm using red, what type of blood does red represent? What's that, Amara? Oxygenated is correct. Blood is now going to re-enter your heart as oxygenated. These are going to be your pulmonary veins. This is going to be your left pulmonary vein. And over here, we have your right pulmonary vein. I'd like you guys to take a look back up at me once you're. What was that? Whatever. Yeah. I'll just reboot them real quick, see if it turns on. All right, while those are rebooting, still listening online, I want you guys to look at this heart. This is the back of your heart. See these? Blood is going in there. Here's the other side. Blood is going in there. So this is my heart. I have 2 pulmonary veins on my right side. Blood is re-entering through here. And on my left side, blood is re-entering through here. They're both going to empty into this atrium on my left side. This is your left atrium. So you can go ahead and label that atrium while I try to restart these projectors. Hopefully that's not going to be an issue. If it is, I'm going to talk over it. It's a normal sound. All right, so hopefully you've already gone ahead and labeled the left atrium with a red pen. I'm going to do that now. All right, they'll come up shortly. Just give them a sec. I'm going to talk you guys through it until the picture comes back on. Do you see the valve at the bottom of the left atrium? I want you to use your other highlighter. I have a pink one, I think. Weird. I'll talk you through it. There's a valve on the bottom. That's your left of your left atrium. I don't know what's going on. It's just, we're gonna get an epileptic seizure with that. All right, one sec. Technical difficulties. Okay, I'm going to talk you through it, so please follow along. Do you see your left atrium? Do you see the valve on the bottom of your left atrium? That valve is called your bicuspid. And what is the final chamber that blood will enter once it has gone past your bicuspid valve? That is your left ventricle. We're almost done. I want you to do a 180-degree turn. One sec, let me pause this. I want you guys to do about a 180-degree turn, and I want you to go through that final valve. You see that final valve? It's right here. I know it's hard to see, the projector's not working. You're gonna do this, look at me. Whoop, right there. Look at me. Whoop, right here. That valve.
This one? What is it?
That one, yes, this valve right here. You're exiting here, you're going up in there.
Oh,
That.
yeah. What is it called?
Want to make sure everybody's found it. Sebastian, wake up. You see this? Have you found this valve? This is your aortic valve. If you're following along online, the projectors aren't working, so I'm having a little trouble here, but we're making it work. Lance, you remember the saying when I taught you evolution in AP Bio? Adapt or die. That's what we're doing. This is your aortic valve. You can also call it your semilunar valve too. What?
Oh, I just asked myself.
Okay. Now, I want you guys to travel up the aortic arch. Now, this is going to be tricky for you to see without help. Let's put this up front. I want you to tell me, this is your aortic arch. This is your pulmonary trunk. What is in front of what? Is the pulmonary trunk in front of the aorta, or is the aorta in front of the pulmonary trunk? The trunk is in front of the aorta. So you're going to follow blood behind the trunk, and you're going to go back up the aorta right here. This huge arch is your aortic arch. So you're going, it's like you're going behind the trunk and you're coming out the other end. Let's try to give these projectors another. Well, they're not working. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? Let's see if it's working. You guys leave. Okay, so you have all this blood. You see those three openings on the top of the arch? I want you to draw an arrow coming out of each opening. Blood is going to exit the heart through those openings in the aorta. That whole arch you can call the aorta. A-O-R-T-A, aorta. Blood that leaves through those three openings is going to go to your arms, your head, your shoulders, your brain, your neck, everything that is above your chest. So this is going to be upper body circulation. And now there's one thing you guys actually have to draw for me. It's going to be kind of weird, but if you look here, this is where it's really got to pay attention. This is the rest of your aorta. Here's what I want you to do. On the bottom of your heart, I want you to draw just kind of like a little square like this. That is going to represent the bottom of your aorta. If you can kind of visualize with me, look at this. This goes all the way down. it follows along the front of your spine. And what you're going to draw is basically it all the way to that point. That is going to be the descending aorta. So you're going to draw just like that. Can you see what you drew? Just like this. That little kind of three-sided square around the bottom of your heart. That's going to represent the descending aorta. That is going to send blood to your lower body, your abdomen and your legs. So if you're watching online, let me get that for you right here. And blood is going to exit out the descending aorta to the lower body. Okay, so before you guys get all rowdy, I want you to hear me out. You have no mastering this weekend. On Thursday, you have a quiz on this diagram. We'll go over it again on Monday. You need to know all the structures, all the valves, all the chambers, and which way blood's going.